First off, let me give you the hot take of the day. Khalil Rountree is going to walk through Pereira. That is the worst matchup I could think of. And let me explain. When we think of who's going to go fight for a title on pay-per-view, we think of other guys that have won a whole bunch of fights on pay-per-view. Well, Khalil was from SmackDown. He came from the other show. He's been fighting on the fight nights and at the Apex and things like this. He still won 6 in a row. He stopped 5 of those sons of guns, and one of them's a former #1 contender, our good friend Lionheart.
I think Chill's crazy.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
He's out of his mind.
In a good way.
I love Chill to death, but he's a little bit crazy there. I think that it's stylistically, it's a hard fight for both guys. They're, there's about 100% chance that someone's getting knocked out.
Well, you've seen Alex get hurt by Izzy twice. If he gets hit by Khalil Rountree, that is not good, because Khalil Rountree has power like no one else in the division.
But let's just be honest, you cannot take shots from Khalil Rountree. Khalil's very, very big for the weight class. He's very, very powerful. I've heard a lot of stories of Khalil Rountree early in his career training in Black House alongside the great Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machida in the prime of their career, and the success he had against those guys, seeing to what he's developed now. There's a reason why he wants to fight Alex Pereira. There's a reason why the UFC put these fights together. And I think everybody can be laid to rest with their complaints when it's all said and done when that fight gets over, because it's going to be one of the best fights of the decade.
All I can say, man, is that, I believe in myself 1,000,000%. I'm backing myself in this fight.
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's not a lot of bad feelings or I think I respect the dude. I respect what he's done. I respect what he's able to do. And I'm going to leave it at that, right? Everything else, I got to go in there and I got to do what I got to do. And I'm going to fight my best, I'm going to give him the best version of me. And, we don't even know what that's like yet. Last time everybody saw me fight was Anthony Smith, and that wasn't even my best. So, now I'm still training, I'm still grinding to hopefully produce a better result than I did in that fight. So, yeah, man, all I can say is just know and prepare for when you think of me, think about, I'm coming in there and I'm giving my best against a guy like Alex Pereira. You guys already seen what he can do. Now I'm going to show you guys what I can do.
The talk is, because he even said that. He said, I don't shoot for takedowns. This won't be the fight where I shoot for takedowns. But that's the biggest trap ever. Double leg takedown.
I don't think his game is. I don't think his game is built around that, though.
It's not, but it might want to start it being.
At the bat, like I said, I see this as a complete mismatch and one-sided fight for Alex Pereira. The styles match up perfectly for him. Here's one thing that I will say in this fight: it's a fight. At the end of the day, it is a fight. Anything can happen in a fight. Any given fight, crazy things can happen. On any given day, that number 8 can become champion. I'm gonna be honest, I see a way where that actually could happen. One thing that I do see that is going for Khalil's a southpaw. All right, Alex, if you have multiple weapons and you have ways to fire off from hands and kicks and combos like that, if you actually have weapons and threats, credible threats from the southpaw stance, Alex struggles with those. He actually struggles with that. If you go back and you watch the second fight in the UFC against Izzy, more so he started to add more strikes and more threats from the southpaw stance. He added more threats from the southpaw stance as opposed to the first fight.
Khalil does have a really nasty lead check hook that he uses as a counter that's really fast. So it does give you some problems when you're in front of him, because even if he misses it a couple times, now you're aware of it, and so you're always aware of it the whole time. Once he throws it a couple times and it zooms by your face before he gets his distance down, now that's a problem the whole time, because you can tell right away, if that thing lands, I'm going down for sure. So now you're addressing this whole issue on this side of his body the entire time.
He does his absolute best work when he's being attacked by a kickboxer. It's not Khalil swarming somebody or taking them down or submitting them. He is a counter fighter, and he loves when you punch or kick at him first. Khalil Rountree not only deserves this fight, and I'll admit, I was surprised. I didn't think this is the direction they were going to go, but I'll tell you a problem. Khalil's going to win this fight.
The first fight where Izzy fought Alex in, I believe it was in Madison Square Garden, he would go southpaw. And it kind of froze Alex a little bit, but he didn't really throw anything. There was no really threats, no real anything from there. That was an adjustment he made in the second fight that worked out for him. Khalil's a natural southpaw. He has weapons. He's able to, he does hit hard. He can drop bombs. If he does land, he can put you out. I think if he actually uses his southpaw stance to a degree, I think that he can't cause some problems for Alex.
I know a lot of the fight fans are thinking, okay, Khalil's an explosive southpaw striker, but can he stand on the feet with somebody as high level as Alex Pereira? Remember one of the early fights in Khalil Rountree's career was Gokhan Saki, one of the best kickboxers in the world, and you look at the results on that one. Khalil knocked him clean out. One mistake, he left his chin up in the air, throwing a leg kick. Khalil capitalized on it. Look, Alex Pereira throws a lot of leg kicks. Khalil is an explosive southpaw. You saw how well he covered the distance against our friend Anthony Smith. That could happen in this fight, so don't just take this fight for granted. It's going to be a violent fight, but anything could happen in any moment of this matchup.
And I believe that Khalil, once he puts his mind to whatever it is he wants to do, he's going to do it. You know, he's been put up with these tests before, you know, like Gokhan Saki came into the UFC as the best, you know, arguably the best striker in the world at that point in time, and he went out there and knocked him out, you know, and
you're right.
He was very, very confident in that point in time of, you know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to knock him out. And that's what he did, you know, and I think that obviously we realize that we're fighting, you know, the best guy in the world, the biggest name in the world right now. But I think that the stars and the moon and everything is aligned up for us, and I think he's ready to handle it, and I think he's going to.
You know, when I think about like vulnerabilities, it doesn't stand out to me in that way. It's more just like opportunities. Like this is going to be the best on both for the both of us to just really provide our best level of work, and the fans get to watch it. And how cool is that?
For Alex Pereira, it's interesting, right? Not to suggest that he's biting off more than he can chew, but when you're stacking championship training camps and making these quick turns, if anyone can speak to it, it's Izzy, right? And sometimes it can go the other way, right? Izzy had a crazy stretch, I think, of 7 fights in 20 months. We'll see how it goes for Alex Pereira. It's at altitude in Salt Lake City. Fascinating championship matchup there at UFC 307.
Khalil he's a little bit smaller of a 205er. He's range wise, because I was out of shape and I was, you know, short notice. The thing that saved me was my size. I was able to keep him off of me for the most part, and kind of control the range and distance for a while. And I just think Alex is better at that, obviously, than I am.
I don't ever really feel like size is a big factor. I've fought guys in the division so far that have been, you know, taller than me and, you know, by 3-4 inches. And then, you know, Chris Dawkins kept coming down from heavyweight. So it's not really a size thing. I think, you know, I'm pretty strong.
And here's the thing. I know Khalil Rountree. He's a teammate of mine. Whether Alex Pereira was the champion or not, this is the fight that he wants. He wants to challenge himself against a former 2-time glory kickboxing champion. This is who Khalil Rountree wants to fight. And Khalil Rountree's not going to shoot a takedown. I've trained with him for years. I know he's going to come out there and give the fans what they want.
The better a guy becomes at something, the more he goes out of his way to get away from the fundamentals. The more he's going to put his elbow on his knee and things like this from a wrestling perspective. But Pereira is no different. These great strikers, the better they do, right on day one, you put your chin down and you put your hands up. When these guys become really good, all of a sudden that chin's out there showing, and your hands are down here at your waist. You're trying to demonstrate for everybody, I'm so good at this, I don't even have to follow the fundamentals. Pereira will give an opportunity. He gives it to every opponent. He will give them the opportunity to hit him. I submit for you, Rountree only needs to hit him once.
It's a huge opportunity for Khalil. I hope he prepares, hope he's locked in and he's ready for it. And he comes locked in, bro. Don't shift your focus for even a second. It's a dangerous opponent. Everything's stacked against you. Hey, bro, if you really a dog and you really about that shit, though, it makes you excited, though. These are the things that you got to be excited for.